I'm still falling out of love with you, and I'm heading for the door, not sure if I'll go through. Memories that take so long to erase, will they ever even start to fade?
Welcome back to Consumer Labs. Today we're going to talk about that electromagnetic energy, the amount of energy being released from your cell phone. And some of you probably already aware that it's so much wattage, so much milliwatts per square meter that's being released from your phone that for some individuals and some researchers have determined that it can cause some medical problems. So with that being said, let's take a look at it. So here's my phone here. I have my iPhone 13 Pro Max. And I just want to know how much of that radio frequency, how much of that power is being released from my phone when I make a phone call. So the first thing I did was I took my iPhone 13 Pro Max and I placed it near the special meter. And what you see in front of you right now is the meter measuring the phone when it's not actually making a phone call. So you see a 13.86 milliwatts per square meter. You might say, well, why am I still showing something on the meter? Because you got to keep in mind that a phone is always transmitting something and receiving something most of the time, as well as, just the environment that you're in. But now watch what happens when I actually make a phone call. Now, you're going to notice that this meter is a special meter, and I like this meter really a lot because what it's going to show is not only how much milliwatts per square meter is being transmitted, but it's also going to show a 5G indication. This is great about this. So it's also showing you that the cell phone is actually transmitting. Basically, I'm making a phone call, right, at a 5G. This is really, really nice about this. But here's the thing. You can see that the rating, the power went extremely high. It's all the way up to 409.2 milliwatts per square meter. Isn't that crazy? So we went from 13 to over 400. Now, what you're seeing right here is the cell phone is completely turned off. I shut off my cell phone and the readings went down to 7.79. Once again, this is just environmental conditions showing some type of RF being transmitted. But what you do notice, I don't know if you can see it clearly in the picture, but the 5G indication is now off, which means that obviously the phone's not transmitting absolutely nothing. So as you can see from the testing, your cell phone is without a doubt definitely transmitting high amount of energy. There's no doubt about that. You've seen it from 13 to all the way up to 400 when I'm making a phone call. So that's not a doubt. There's no disputing that. The real question becomes, is it dangerous? Well, there are some studies that say yes, it is dangerous. Keeping your cell phone to your head, it is dangerous, right? And then even if you look around, some of the scientists are saying they can cause cancer and other types of illnesses. So the question is, how is that so? How is that so? And what is the cell phone company saying? And what is all this controversy about? Well, here's the thing. You got to keep in mind, just like with cigarettes. Remember cigarettes, when it first came out, is on the market, especially here in America, what happened was they was like, oh, cigarettes are great. They did all this testing. There was nothing found, no cancer, nothing was said for years, decades and decades. And then they found out, hold up, oh, no, there is some harm. And then the companies knew about the harm, the cancer-causing agents that are in cigarettes, but they did what? They kept it a secret. So the question, are we facing the same type of situation today? Are we facing that situation today? And we might be. We just might be. So let's think about this. Companies, they'll have you believe that guess what? Because the energy being emitted from your cell phone by the way, is 5G, right? We understand 5G is not ionized energy. It cannot harm you, right? Ionized energy being energy at a high level, such as X-rays or gamma rays, right? You know, the energy when you go to your doctor and you're doing, teeth X-rays or whatever, and they put this lead shielding over you, right? Because the energy is so high and so powerful that, it can cause you bodily harm. I got that. And you got that as well. But let me tell you something. Think about this, even if that energy is not at that level, you still could get harmed. And that's just a fact. And you may say, oh yeah, yes. Think about this. Microwave energy, which is less than ionized energy, X-ray energy, gamma ray energy, is less than that, can still cause you what? Bodily harm. How? Because that energy, that microwave energy, by the way, that same microwave energy, your cellular phone, your 5G phone actually runs into, guess what? Microwave energy frequencies. Imagine that. And now, can microwave energy hurt you? Of course it can. Absolutely. Why? Because the microwave energy, as we all probably know, excites the water molecules. And when it excites the water molecules, it heats things up, heats your food up. And if it hits you, guess what? It's going to heat you up as well. The point is, it can cause you harm, right? It's not ionized, but it still can cause you harm. So I say this to say, you have to be aware, do some research, be careful, and make sure that you are not injured or hurt by this. Don't let anybody tell you that, oh no, it's okay, it's safe. Because remember, they ran the same line with cigarettes. Remember cigarettes? Back in the days before I was born, for most of you was born, they was like, oh, cigarettes are great. It's the best thing since cheese. Yeah, nothing happens. They even lied and said, oh yeah, we did a whole bunch of research and everything's okay. But the truth of the matter was, they found out that the researchers found out, for the cigarette companies, found that, oh no, yeah, it can cause you harm, can cause cancer, other medical issues, right? But they kept it to themselves. So how can we protect ourselves from this high level of energy being emitted from our cellular phones? I mean, it's something to think about, right? I mean, the potential of it harming you, your kids, or your parents, or someone you love, it might be there. And I don't want you thinking this is just an iPhone thing. Well, it's all cellular phones today, because most of the cellular phones today are emitting more and more energy than they did years ago. And obviously, it's becoming a problem that we are not truly aware of what the effects are going to be. And unfortunately, we don't want to wait too long, right? So what can we do in the meantime? Well, distance, I should say, is the best solution to this whole problem, right? Distance, right? In other words, wear your headset, wear your earpods, right? Wear something that the phone do not have to be close to your head all day long, right? And if it is, let it be a short-term thing, right? Don't let it be there for hours and hours and hours in, right? Another thing is kids. I mean, you got a lot of kids, young kids, that's, using phones. You got kids 9, 10 years old using phones, right? We don't know what the effect. No one knows what the effects are going to be. And like we said before, we don't want to wait until 50 years to find an answer. We really don't. This is Consumer Labs. You know what? We'll talk.